XRP's price action has fallen by over 8.7% this week. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the technical analysis on XRP, where I'll be sharing my thoughts and opinions as to where I think the price action is heading next. As I get into this video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, and let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with XRP's price action. Okay, so here we have XRP paired up with USDT. We are on the 1 hour Binance chart here, and you can see that we had our X wave high. We hit into these higher range expectations between 55.96, 56.30. This was on the Monday 1000 hour UTC candle. From then, we've seen a lot of turbulence to the downside, coming in a low of 51.17 cents on Wednesday. Okay, that low being not the 1800 hours UTC. It was an 8.76% drop to the downside. Okay, now obviously we did have a little bit of a recovery, and what's good about this current area is we have what is known as a V bottom. This is giving us confidence that a bottom is found, and we see a bit of a reversal. Now, I do look at the current situation through the lens that maybe there's a little bit more of a push to the upside towards the 200 EMA, and things are looking reasonably well. As I kind of record this video, we're seeing a little bit of a pull to the downside. This is okay. I'm not terribly too concerned about it at the moment. Okay, and reasons for this is we do have a double top situation up here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw this in. And I'll pull this across so you can see. This is the main area of resistance at the moment, right? So basically 53.28 to 53.38. This area is what I'm looking to see get broken. On the low side, we do have a current support level coming in down here at the 52.41 to 52.56. You can see there's a little bit of a sell-off right now. If we lose this low side, okay, so we lose this low to the downside, then we are going to be looking for, in my opinion, a bit more of a pull more towards the previous areas of support, which will come in around 52.26. okay, but of course, if we can keep that low at 52.41, then I think we're still looking for the 200 EMA. Okay, so how I look at this is I'm going to be looking for support in this low range, and we'll be putting a really tight stop loss. So I do think that our options here are for long positions, and we want to be targeting out the 200 EMA, and I'm going to be putting a really tight stop loss in here to give us a little bit of breathing room. Okay, so something to this effect would be very, very interesting to see if it plays out. Okay, so we'd look for something around like an entry of 52.52, stop loss at 52.23, and take profit around the 200 EMA at 53.68. That is a 4.0 risk reward ratio. Okay, now there's a high probability here, considering how the risk reward ratios work, that this one would get potentially stopped out beforehand. Okay, so if that is the case, what we want to do is we actually want to go short if we do lose that area of 52.41. Our stop loss will be above the 50 SMA, and we would target out 1.5 to the downside. Okay, so we're kind of hedging our bets with this one a little bit. Okay, so we'd look to do both scenarios depending on what plays out. Okay, we'd have our long position kind of anchored in and our short position anchored in, and we could argue we could even put the stop loss just there as well. So you'd have a 7.73 risk reward ratio to the upside in the long, and we'd have a 1.49, 1.5 risk reward ratio on the short entry around 52.41 or on 52.37, sorry, just short of 52.41. And then our stop loss would be 52.82 and take profit at 51.71. Okay, what that'll do is it'll allow us to mitigate the risks of a really tight stop loss here. But should we hold this structure, we will be looking for that next move to the upside. Resistances do come in, though, as I said, at 53.28 to 53.38. So it's possible that we actually use that as our take profit area as well for the long, so we don't have to be terribly too greedy. But we'll leave it up there for now, and we'll see how that goes. Now, in terms of our momentum, we are in the oversold area on the 1 hour time frame. So this is a positive move. So we'll be looking to see a bit of a run to the upside in the coming kind of hours or so. Now, if we turn that off and bring in the divergence indicator here, we do have hidden bearish divergence that obviously we saw the move to the downside from, and we are lower than the 50 level. There's still plenty of momentum to the downside. I just expect us to move up before we continue moving down. Okay, taking a look at the MACD and the histogram here, let's bring this into view so you guys can see what's going on with our MACD histogram. Here we can see that we had higher highs but lower highs. So this is the divergence that we could see, okay, going on right here. So we do obviously have divergence with that move to the upside, and we're seeing the aggressive sell-off at the moment. Now, in terms of where we currently sit, if we start to see any divergences here, that's going to be quite an interesting one to keep an eye on. And specifically, if we can have a higher low, but more selling volume coming off on the histogram. But for now, we are quite clearly seeing the double top situation. This was a clear area where we could start to see diminishing price action. With that histogram being a divergence to price action, if we were paying close attention yesterday, this is where we would have shorted, and the stop loss would have been above the 200 EMA. And of course, we would target out 1.5, which will put us right down at a double bottom situation. So it would be heavy in profit if we were monitoring that situation yesterday. But like I say, I think the opportunities here are for a bit of a long. Our target range on Elliott Wave on this one would be a little bit more of a push to the upside. I'm just going to use the existing wick. It would be around the 53.61 to 53.84. If we do move down to the kind of entry for that short, 53.49 to 53.73. And again, that's going to be kind of the thoughts and opinions as to kind of where I think we are likely to see XRP's price action over the weekend. I think we're going to see a little bit of volatility, but of course we make sure that we hedge our bets here with both of these positions in play, because if we do lose that low area of 52.41, it does change our scenario for going after that 200 EMA resistance. Okay, but that's where my mind is at the moment for short-term trade idea. Talking about trading, we have an incredible deal for you guys today. How does a 10% cash back bonus up to 2,000 USDT sound? That's right, Blowfin is offering an incredible promotion, but it's only available to the first 100 users, so you'll need to act fast. Blowfin is a top cryptocurrency exchange and is giving new users a fantastic opportunity. When you sign up using the special link in the description, you will get a 10% cashback bonus up to 2,000 USDT in futures bonus. And the best part, it's first come, first server basis. So the first 100 users to sign up will be the ones to claim this fantastic bonus. Here's how you can jump in. Step 1, click the special link in the description down below to sign up to Blowfin. Step 2, once you're in, start trading on the futures. Step 3, you'll automatically get a 10% cashback bonus in futures, up to 2,000 USDT if you're one of the first 100 users to sign up. So what are you waiting for? This is a limited time and only for the first 100 users to get this incredible deal. Click the link in the description down below, sign up to Blowfin and secure your 10% cashback up to 2,000 USDT before it's gone. Don't miss out on this amazing offer from Blowfin. Remember, it's first come, first serve, so hit that link and start trading and depositing on Blowfin today. Good luck and happy trading. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll this up into a daily time frame. In the daily time frame, we're still in the short position. We were looking at our short from the 200 daily EMA. We have the death cross looming as well. And so the death cross is the 50 SMA, the yellow line, crossing lower than the 200 EMA. And we can see here we have the blue line, the 50 EMA, crossing lower than the 50 EMA. So we can argue you've got kind of a soft little cross there going on. Essentially, this is a kind of bearish indicator to a degree. I disagree with it in the kind of sense that a lot of people kind of throw it around. Essentially, all it's showing us is what's happened with the previous price action. Essentially, when the yellow line crosses lower than the white line, we have what is called a death cross. It basically means that short-term price action is trading lower than long-term price action, so it's bearish, right? But of course, that's not why we went in short here. We're finding resistance on the 200 EMA. We found resistance on the 50 SMA, as you can kind of see here with all of this convergence going on. At the same time as that was going on, of course, we had our histograms here printing us some really concerning levels. And from there, we could see that we were looking for, unfortunately, a bit more of a turn in the market to the downside. Again, we broke out of this. We were looking for the bearish break. We saw it up in this higher range. We started to go short here. We shorted this one nicely. We got the B wave bounce to the resistances, and we're shorting again. And you can still see, and I'm going to remove the lowest trend line here and just pull this one in. You can see we still see diminishing returns, or not the returns, but diminishing momentum on the histogram here for the MACD. Okay, so not only were we finding the resistances, we were seeing that buying pressure was just lapse. It just didn't really exist there. So the short position, it was still a very nice play here on the daily time frame. However, as I said in the previous video, I am a little bit cautious, and cautious is the right word. Let me bring this into view. Over what is going on with our stochastic RSI. Okay, so the stochastic RSI is almost in the oversold area. You can see that it's just down here. Now, in a few more days, we're probably going to be looking for a significant rally for XRP. So this short idea is not one that I want to be holding all that much longer. We're probably going to want to come out of this short position. It's got some good profit. Okay, so we came in on this on the 200 EMA. We saw 7.45. At the moment, we're about 4.79 with some leverage. That's a very, very juicy return. Now, the reason that I want to come out of this is we have the possibility of actually pushing up higher and potentially even hitting this stop loss. Okay, so under Elliott wave, okay, and of course momentum that is interestingly kind of getting corrected, we could see a potential move in the kind of medium term over the next kind of like week or so, US election, that kind of stuff. We could see 57 to 58 cents, okay, and of course our stop loss on this trade is at 59.06. So I want to be a little bit cautious about what that potentially means. And also we could potentially see typical retracement coming up more aggressively during the election period, more into this range here between 58 and 64 cents. Okay, so things have changed a little bit essentially, right? Which is why I am super cautious about what happens next here for XRP. So the short idea, probably going to want to come out of it by the end of the weekend, and then I'm going to be looking for some long positions on the daily time frame, and we're going to be looking to move up here. Of course, we're going to pay close attention to our divergence indicator as well as to whether or not we can get a break above the 50 level, and of course the MACD histogram. We're going to look for significant changes in buying patterns. Okay, so at the moment things are still bearish, but momentum on that stochastic is hinting that actually things are not as bearish as maybe we first initially thought. Okay, so we might look for this B wave to continue up higher before we get into the next kind of moves to the downside, which would of course change our perspectives on where that goes next. Okay, so it's a moving target. Things aren't just completely static and set in stone. We have to be constantly analyzing the moves. We've made some profits on this, but it hasn't quite played out exactly as we would have expected, and it's looking likely to see a reversal soon. So a few more days in the short. Outside of that, I would see a reversal in the market, and we want to be looking for these slightly higher ranges. On the low side, it would be 57 cents, and on the high side, 64 cents. Okay, so some potential here for some pretty lucrative long positions on XRP. I don't think we're ready for the 75 to 85 cents that I've been talking about for weeks or months, but we are progressing quite nicely for those targets at some point in the near future. So for now, I think it's going to be one that we pay close attention to over the weekend as we kind of monitor what is going on with XRP's price action, buyers and sellers, and all the behaviors there. But for the most part, I'm expecting to close the short really soon and look to flip it into a long position. But of course, these are just my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments down below where you sit when it comes to XRP's price action, or better still, join us in our free Discord server linked in the description, and we can continue the conversation down there. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you never miss another update. And if you haven't done so already, check this video out right here. It's very important that you don't miss this one.